Hello, everybody, and welcome to my first time. Well, not my first time ever playing Master, but my first video on Master Duel. I decided to. Why is this here? Well, I guess I drew it from like another way. Okay. Anyway, welcome to. I should probably do this first so I don't look like a. Okay, anyway, welcome to, my first ever time showing Master Duel. Okay, so, I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! A while ago, I just kind of got back into it recently. Good thing, though, because there's a dice rally. But, this deck, this is just a standard deck I'm using. So, what kind of deck am I using? Okay, so I want to show you my deck list for, this is not what it's called, this is just a regular deck, but shooting, Majestic, Star, Dragon deck. Does it all fit? No. Or like I like to call it, shooting Majestic, Star, Dragon deck. SMSD. Okay, so the main goal of this deck is to get this guy out. This one card. Now, why is this card so good? You see, I don't really a lot of people, because people are playing, in the Dice Rally, people are playing Synchros, but they're using the base deck. Which actually helped me figure out I should probably add these guys and this guy, which I did, because these two work really well together. Also, this saves you from breaking so many times. But yeah, this is my version of the deck before Dice Rally came out with theirs. So, my version of the deck. Before we get into like how many cards you need, we will get into this. What is the deck's main goal? This deck, what is this? No, I think this is the bad one, right? Yeah. Yeah, because this is Graveyard to Hand, which you don't really have time for. It's too slow. Okay. So what we're going on about. Okay, so get this guy out. Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Shooting Majestic Star Dragon main thing is a beater. It's a 4,000 beater on field that's really damn strong. Also, if you try to get rid of it, you just can't. The only way to get rid of this card consistently is by tributing it. And even then, not really, due to its effects. Okay, so what does this guy do? So, to summon this guy in the first place, you need Majestic Dragon +1 plus non-tuner monsters, including a Dragon Synchro monster. I never got this +1 because in this game you can just use Majestic Dragon and Shooting Star Dragon. Which is, you might be asking, where's Majestic Dragon? It's this guy. Conversion Redragon gets called, can only be used for Majestic Monster, Majestic, and its whole thing is that, when it's on field, or in hand, well, in field or in graveyard, sorry, it becomes Majestic Dragon. Because Majestic Dragon, by itself, is trash. There's no way to get this out consistently. So, what is this goal? Okay, so back to Stardust Dragon. I'm shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Okay, so must first be Synchro summoned. Obviously, it's a Synchro monster. Once per turn, you can negate the effects of one effect monster your opponent controls. It's a non-target negate. So let's say someone pulls up on field like, oh, you can't target any of my monsters with effects. This bypasses it, and it's a once per turn. So it's actually pretty good because it stays negated. It's not like it's stopped being negated at the end of the turn. No, it's just straight up negated until it gets off field, basically. This card, well, okay, so now here's why this beater is so good. This card gains 1 additional attack each battle phase for every monster in your graveyard that is Stardust Dragon or the Synchro monster with Stardust Dragon in its text. Why is this? Why? You might say, oh, well, Shooting Star Dragon does attack, based on how many tuners you pull up in a 5 cards you get, based on how many tuners there are, you do that many attacks. Well, The reason why this one is so much better is, one, you don't have to get lucky, and two, it gains an attack. This guy has a natural attack by itself. You see, shooting Star Dragon's whole effect is that it can attack as many tuners as you pull up. Meaning, if you use the effect, if you don't draw any tuners, you don't have any attacks. Well, this one, even if you have no Stardust Dragons in your graveyard, you can still attack. And based on the combo, you're going to have at least one attack or at least one attack. The combos grant you at least one attack. So basically this is base two attacks. Okay, and now here's when it gets crazy. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, so basically anywhere, just anywhere, card or effect, spell, trap, continuous, or like Ash, what else? Ash, effect veiler, basically any hand trap, any spell card, triple tactics talent. Wait, no, can you? Basically, as long as it can't, as long as it can be negated, it can get negated by this card. You can banish this card until the end phase. Okay, and if you do, negate the activation, and if you do that, banish that card. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of see how strong this is. So it's just kind of like, what are you gonna do with that when it hits field? Like, it hits field, and then you're kind of just stuck with it. Because unless you can get over 44,000, unless you try to chain block this, which you can't, because it can negate every single card that can be negated. So basically, the only way to do that is basically like a card that says this cannot be, like, no card can be activated in response to this card's effect. You can get rid of this card, but that's it. You attacking over this thing, you're going to have to add an added effect, which is fine. But to do that, if you want to do it, because remember, once per turn, you can negate one effects of one effect monster opponent controls, which means if it's my turn, and you have this guy on field, I can just negate its gain effect. Like, unless it's another card, I can, if it's by the card, which I did to somebody, like they had like a 5,000 attack card, but it was by the effect of that card, so all I did was activate this effect, negate its effects, don't even have to target it, negate its effects, bring back, and since it got lowered, it was like 2,000, 3,000 base, I just attacked over with Majestic Star Dragon. Because remember, it gains an additional attack, meaning if you do my combo and you just get one of these guys out and they have no cards on the field, you won. It's a kill. It's not gonna be FTK, but it's gonna be second turn kill or third turn kill based on whatever you go. If you go first and get a full board with this guy out with the combo I'm gonna show you, unless you fuck up bad or modern decks are that good, you can get past this. I'm confident in it. Okay, so what is the main use of this? Okay, so 2 of these, obviously, because if you haven't realized it, something about this card is that it doesn't say every single effect on here is a soft once per turn. Now, what is a soft once per turn? Well, there's a hard once per turn and a soft once per turn. A soft once per turn is per card. Basically, if you have 2 copies of Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, they each can do their effects. While let's say you have no, Baron doesn't. Yeah, you see how it says that here you can only use the previous effect of Baron Deflora once per turn. Since this doesn't state its name, Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, anywhere, it's not limited to a hard once per turn. Meaning, if you have like, because this guy's not limited at all or semi-limited at all either, so you can have 3 of these guys out and they can each do attacks, and they each have their own negate. They each have their own this negate, and each one gains an additional attack per Stardust Dragon. And because this one also has Stardust Dragon in its text, if you have another one of these engraved, if you summon another Shooting Majestic Star Dragon, it also gains another attack. So you kind of understand why this, if you get this out, you kind of just win the game. Okay, so another thing about this deck before we get too much into it, it is very bricky. Before I add these things, even then, it's still very bricky. Why? Well, because it's all reliant on getting at least this guy and this guy out. It's all reliant on getting a 3-star tuner and a 2-star monster. A regular one. So doing that is also really hard. So we have a lot of ways to find this guy, because Junk Synchron's the easiest way to get this guy out. Because if we summon this, normal summon this, normal summon this, we can do full combo. Well, at least close to full combo. If you get this guy engraved and this guy out, you can do full combo as well. Now to do true full combo though, you need this, this, and this, or another, or this in graveyard, or this in graveyard. Basically, you just need a regular number 2 that Junk Synchron can bring out. The problem is with this is that you can get easily negated. But if we add 2 of these in here, I think 2 is fine. But also, for decks, the sweet spot I kind of found is about 40 is best for consistency, but 50 is best for if you kind of want to make sure you balance reasons, at least with this type of deck. Because with 40, because you almost always need 3 Assault Synchrons, you almost always need 3 Conjunct Converters, you always need 3 Synchron Carriers. Maybe you don't need 3 Doppel Warriors, but it's kind of good. You do need Jet Synchron, and you do need Starter Swarm, and you do need at least 1 Conversion Wheels Dragon, and you need Arrive in Light. This is something you cannot get rid of. You need at least 1 Arrive in Light. On your market set Duel, I might slowly start taking out, at least for Dice Rally, because Dice Rally kind of sucks with this, because it requires you to have no other cards in field. Basically, it says when this card is activated, if you control no other cards, you can add 1 Synchron monster from your deck to hand. But it's also a good way to, if they don't read cards and they just see, oh, they can Ash it, they might just go ahead and Ash it. Doesn't get all of them, but it kind of gets good. I only have 1 Ghost Spell. I have 3 Effect Veiler but more Effect Veilers. Effect Veiler's not the best hand trap, so you don't want to add. I just kept this one in here because it's a tuner. It can be used for this guy to do it, and it's just if you get it, you get it as a hand trap. Also, showing off the ultra rare. Or what is this rarity? I forgot. But what's something else? Okay, so back to it. Okay, so now let's get into the full combo, and then we can talk about extra cards. Okay, so for full combo, you need, like I said, a level 3 and a level 2. Now, how do you do this? So what you want to do is, why don't I'll show you in the match after I'm done talking with all this. But yeah, this deck is very brick heavy. Be careful. They can negate stuff easily. This can be ashed. This can be ashed. This can be ashed. What else can be ashed? This can be ashed. That's why we run a bunch of counter ash cards. This can be, yeah. Most of these cards, this can be ashed as well. So this is why you kind of need a lot of things. Because if you go second and they don't have any negates, you kind of just win if you get a good hand. If you have negates, it's kind of hard to work around. But if you're going second, this is why we had so many hand traps. Because unlike most decks now in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! That can be used to counter certain decks, it's kind of hard with these specific cards because of how it is. But let's say yeah, you might want to add 2 of these because this is an anti-ash. Basically, you see, you cannot special summon next deck except for this turn's Synchro Monsters. That's so fine. That's why we run a full extra deck Synchro Monsters. And before this I even put this in the deck, there's something else that locks in only Synchro Monsters, which is why we only run Synchros. You might want to do like 1 link, what's the 1 link? I forgot. I don't remember, but I know you might want to run like 1 link to just basically in case you brick or they negate something, you can I was gonna say run Crystron Halfy Fibrax, but I don't think it's how you spell it, does it? Yeah, I think Crystron Fibrax is banned. Gonna be you are. Yeah. It's not. Let's just go make sure by doing a link. I think it's a link 2, right? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's banned. Anyway, yeah, you can't use that obviously, but yeah. Maybe a link Karibo, maybe something else. I don't really know a good thing to go off of that, but yeah, you don't really want to run links anyway. This should be just pure synchro. Okay. So now let's cover why we need everything. So, junk synchron. You always need junk synchron. This is the one that gets you started. If you don't have a junk synchron in hand, you kind of lose. That's why we have search for it, search for it, search for it. This is a really good search for it. Search for it. Search for it. And yeah, we run like 7 searches, like 7 unique searches. And total we have, and this is to get like, if you don't have a monster to get into grave, you can do this to get a monster in the grave. I might remove this up because I rarely use Foolish. Because if you don't have something in that, because usually you don't have junk synchro in your hand, you might have one of these, which you can use this to tribute this and this one to grave to search for a synchron monster from your deck to hand. It does not have to be a tuner. It's just you have to send this card and a tuner. Discard this card and a tuner. For Doppel Warrior, this is just good because of the tokens. And you're going to need those tokens, especially from this one if you're doing certain strategies. Synchro Whirl, just because of this effect. If you get this in your starting hand, it's very good. Because you can place it down and you usually get up to 10 before your combo, over 10 before your combo ends. Just hopefully you don't brick with it. Crimson Dragon to rerun this because Synchro Crimson Dragon's just good, and that's how we get our second copy of Shooting Majestic Star Dragon out. Baron to floor because again it's just a negate. Satellite Warrior for in case we need to pop. If some cards we can't go over with strength wise, we can use Satellite Warrior to pop. And they're forced to use a response. We can usually use this one or this one to block it. Stardust Warrior in here just in case, because there are some times where I'm thinking about removing this one and adding like a, what is it? The new, oh, I got rid of that one because I need the materials. This one, but then, then I realized that, it's not good. Well, it's kind of like a combo thing where it's like you attack with it and you contribute out and to do more damage, but again, this will do plenty of damage. It's also something I was thinking about adding in because it's level 3, which is something you don't see, but could be kind of useful every now and again. But again, it's just So, obviously 3 Imperm, 3 Ash, Ghost Publics only have 1, effectively because you only really need 1. Droplet, only 1 Droplet because I only have 1 Droplet. Cross-out Designator, just kind of good. Call of the Grave, just kind of good. Where's the, didn't I have another card? No, I think I got rid of it because it's kind of bad. No, that's what Droplet's for. Yeah. Because cross out and Cover the Grave both stop Ash. This one in case you need to get a monster on the field. Chunks, and also it's a good way to get monster in the graveyard. Infinite Permanence because it's a hand trap. 3 of these because this is a really good way to get your start without needing to find a way to send something to grave or to risk chain linking a bunch of times. I have Fuwalos. Why is this not in here? I have 2 Fuwalos. Oh, because it starts... because this is going first or second deck, and that kind of bricks it out. Yeah. So yeah, this is... I do want to add these because this is really good. Because it says when a month, yeah. You can only use one once per turn, but you can't really search this out, I'm pretty sure. But if you grab it, you can place it down. You can, when they activate Ash or something, you can respond with this. It's kind of like a counter hand trap, it looks like. And also this effect. But there's not a lot that can that has that. Except, yeah, this one doesn't. This doesn't even have Junk Warrior. No, it does have Junk Warrior, so I guess you can get this out. But you're probably not going to do that. So yeah, this is mainly just to counteract Ash and Effect Veiler and stuff like that. Now you might want to add 3 of these, but the problem is with 3, you might start getting a lot more often. Again, you don't need this guy in your hand. That's guaranteed. Crimson Dragon. Again, Baron. All these guys are here for a reason. Shooting Star Dragon, you'll see later why. I'll show you later. Because I'll Synchro Stardust Dragon because you just need a level 8. And this is a good way to get that guy back in case you have no tuners on field. Crystal Wing because negates. It's also very easy to go into. Stardust Dragon because it's the name-wise for this guy. Stardust Charge Warrior and Stardust Assault Warrior. I might replace this guy, but he kind of comes in a pinch sometimes. And he does piercing, defense piercing battle damage. Junk Speeder. Also, another thing you need. You could not take out Junk Speeder. Junk Speeder is entirely necessary for this operation. And if you don't have it, you can't do this combo. Formula Synchron. Again, you'll see why. In case you can't do the full combo, there's an alt combo where you have to take an alt route in case you don't have everything, so where you can get the same result, if not better. The problem is it uses more cards, which can be bad. Also, this is kind of a one-time use deck. What I mean by that is that once you do a combo, you kind of don't have a backup. There is no, like, extra backup. You have hand traps, you may have some revive cards, that's it. So think about maybe putting Monster Reborn in here because it actually, because in case, like, this guy gets, Ash by summoning, or just, like, Effect Veiler by summoning, you can use Monster Reborn, summon it back to the field, do the combo anyway. 2 of the, and also all these Synchrons you see here, you do need. You do need the Jet, you need this one especially, in case you need to do the alt way. This Synchron is needed because this is how, in case you don't have level 2 in the grave, if you have this in Junk Synchron, you can do that. You can do a certain route. Junk Converter, you can search Junk and get this in the graveyard with another tuner. Assault Synchron, you'll see later while we need that. Also because it's a level 2 tuner. Full Speed Warrior is what you need for this effect. Ash because of negate. This is because of negate. These only 2 of these because 3 might be a little bit too bricky. You might, if you get unlucky, yes, you probably do need 3 because you need to get, if in case you need to use tuning, and because it gets rid of the top card of your deck to grave, you can maybe lose like if you only have 1 in hand, because you do need this guy on the field for certain combos. But again, it's not too bad if you have to get rid of him because the effects bring him back. It's just you can't go as far. These 2 are very kind of mostly situational, but at the same time, it's if you get this in your starting hand, that's good. If you get this at any other time, game's too. This is why I was thinking. I mean, this because it's too slow. But this and this use the same counter type. What I mean by that is that this uses signal counters, and this also uses signal counters. So you can use this one's effect by taking counters from this. You can use this one's effect by taking counters from this. But then again, you're probably not going to use your C. You might get like 1 or 2 if game 2 is too long. Yes, but usually people just get rid of this card because modern Yu-Gi-Oh decks get rid of everything except to stay up with mostly And this card, you see, this is what I'm talking about, to affect monsters in case, but if you get ashed, usually you don't have a second monster on field, only really Junk Converter, Junk Synchron, I mean. But yeah, that's all you basically need to know. We'll get into the full list later. But right now, let me get into the combos. Okay, so let's go into solo for this because let's go to the easiest one. Let's go. Do we want to do no? Dangerous takes too long. Which one is probably the best way to shut this off? This one sucks. This one sucks. Land of Tenny. Land of Tenny might be the best one to show this off at. So we're just gonna go with the normal dual one. This one. Okay. Go first. We'll show both routes of why it's good. Now, again, this is where it matters the most. Hand. Now, if they had any hand traps, we would be screwed. But what we can do is, this card adds a junk synchron and full speed warrior to hand. Now, you have to discard from hand. You just discard the cards you drew, and there you go. You already have this thing out. Now, junk synchron effect. This is where they can act. They can get in your way too, imperm, stuff like that. If they do, you're kind of screwed. Now, target the level 2, bring it back. You can use this effect in case you want to see if you can make them see if they can use Ash, because you'll and then do Doppel Warrior. Well, you're gonna have to do Doppel Warrior anyway, so there's probably no reason to do this. If you have Doppel in your hand when you do this combo, please summon it out, because what you do want is a 2-3-2. You'll see why. Okay, so now we want Junk Speeder. Save this for later. Get rid of these two. Face up, because it obviously just has more attack. You can do it in defense, but attack kind of better. But now we're kind of messed up with this because Jet Synchron's in our hand. Except we have this level 2. If we didn't have Doppel Warrior in our hand to do this combo, and we didn't have Junk Synchron, we might have been in some trouble. So now, select the monsters you want to summon from deck. And if you do have Jet Synchron in this, you're going to be forced to place down, do this guy's effect, because to special summon as many Synchron tuners as possible with different levels. Now, this guy's effect. This is also something you also want. Oh, you can search it with this. Okay, cool. But yeah. In other words, you want to get Arrive in Light. This can also be Ash, stuff like that. Now you want to instantly place down Arrive in Light. This one on top of that, Converging Wills Dragon. Now, you can, if you know they might have something that can stop you, you might want to go into Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, or just go down the normal route, Stardust Dragon. Because defense matters most. Now, instantly activate Arrive in Light and draw a card. Now, when you draw Converging Wills Dragon to hand, you can reveal it instantly and special summon it. Now, I will say, if this is via chain link, like let's say you have this at a 2, like Arrive in Light combo with something else, you will miss timing for this. You cannot have this part of a chain unless you'll not be able to special summon this monster to the field. But now, with that effect, because we have a level 8 or higher Dragon Synchro monster in the field, we can special summon Stardust Worm from our deck. Just like that. Now, because we have this guy on field, we can instantly go into shooting Majestic Star Dragon here, and I'll show that with this combo. We'll do another one, and I'll try to get that worse hand, and I'll show you that one. Now, Doppel Warrior effect. Don't do Arrive in Light yet, because Arrive in Light will actually get in your way. Now, you want to Stardust Charge. Now, you want to go into Stardust Charge Warrior, using these 2 tokens from that. Stardust Charge Warrior, and just do this effect to draw a card. Now, don't convert it. Now we want to go into this. Now, this is also something why it's good to have. If you didn't have enough space for Stardust Worm, or for some reason you couldn't get Stardust Worm out, this is when you would use Arrive in Light, get Jet Synchron out, But since we already have a card on field, we're good. So now you want to activate the effect of Start a Synchron to tribute it to bring the self back to field. Now when this guy goes off field, you'll lose it, but now you want to do this. You want to go into Crimson Dragon. Now either you can do two at the same time, you can wait a turn, do whatever, but it's usually a lot easier just for you to do back to back. Now you'll see here, this is how we get the second Shooting Majestic Star Dragon out. We put that back, bring this out, and instantly, boom, we already have two out on field. And you want to grab Synchro Rumble. Now if you know what's heading, you just grab some Synchro Rumble, target this guy, and put this guy back on field. Booyah. And that's full combo. This is basically the best field you can have. Now you might be able to go farther if you do some shenanigans, but because you can technically bring this card back, because you control this one, then you can go special Jet Synchron, do some more combo stuff, blah blah blah, but there's not really any reason to, because negate, negate, negate. And you'll see what's going to happen next. Okay, so, end phase. Okay, now, we won't do this, and I'm going to show you why we have Assault Synchron. If you know what Assault Synchron does, you'll know. Basically, when Shooting Majestic Star Dragon uses the effect, you know, it banishes its cost and everything else. But when the chain link ends, you can use Assault Synchron's effect. Assault Synchron says if you face a Dragon Synchro monster you control, it is distributed or banished except during the damage step. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target one of those monsters and special summon it. Now, and because of that, because Shooting Majestic Star Dragon is not like, oh, you can't target this card with no new effects, it's more like a response thing, you can do that. Now, Assault Synchron is only once per turn, is a hard once per turn, unlike these guys. But because it's technically considered as a, because this only specifies if a Synchro monster is special summoned, not if a Synchro monster is Synchro summoned, you just get a free draw card. Now, this can be hand trap, things like that. Which is kind of funny. Now, obviously with this, we do this, pop this, get this out of the way. You see, that's 2 negates. That's 3 negates. Now we'll lose this one until the end phase because we banished a card. And we'll just use, and I'll show you, we can get rid of this one too. And we get a... Also, this one is gonna, it just brings back the card, so it will bring back into the past position, I'm pretty sure, not just into attack. Now, during the second phase, just change to attack. And, yeah, we didn't even have Imperm set. But yeah, you kind of just get like a full hand negate. If you have like this and one hand trap, you kind of just can negate their full hand unless they do some crazy combos. Modern decks can usually get past this step. So what you might want to do is save it. Again, and I'll show you here, because we have multiple cards like this in here, you gain another attack. You can just attack twice for free. So that on total you have is basically 5 attacks minimum on this field. Now I'm going to show going second. And hopefully the hand is not too bad. If it is too good, I will go down and let the lesser route to show you what you can do. Ooh, this might be bad. Okay, no, they didn't have anything. Okay, that's fine. Now, we could do the whole route and go down a complicated route, but I'm going to ignore this, and I'm going to show you how you can do it with just Synchron Carrier. Because Synchron Carrier, as effective, allows you to almost an additional Synchro monster. Again, you have a level 5, blah, blah, blah. You can do this. Again, I recommend doing this first, though. because they can Ash this still. So now, because they're forced, and since we have now Jet Synchron in our deck, I can show you now how to do it with Jet Synchron on field. And you don't have another level 2. Grab Arrive in Light, activate Arrive in Light. It's a once per turn. Yeah, it's a once per turn. Okay, so now good thing this works. You can still draw Converging Will Strike and you're fine, because Arrive in Light, it can be put hand and deck on top of this. So now, if you want to go to the Sacred route, please choose Crystal Wing. But if I'm going on the normal route, choose Stardust Dragon. Because you want to keep Crystal Wing for when you grab it later. So now, obviously, Arrive in Light's effect, draw a card, Converging Will Dragon's effect, Special Summon, Special Summon. So now, what do you want to do here then? Now, because we don't have level 2, so we can't go instantly into, you know, Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. You want to do Stardust Worm plus Jet Synchron, and to get Formula Synchron. Now, obviously, do Formula Synchron's effect to, also recommend doing Jet Synchron's effect in case you want to see if they have any. Again, if they get you past this point, they usually don't have any Ash. But in case you think they might have anything, you can always do that. Now, instead of going down the normal route, what we're going to do... Now, you want to do Shooting Star Dragon. This is why we need Formula Synchron out to get a level 2 tuner. And also, it requires a tuner Synchro monster, and Formula Synchron requires that effect. Now, you can go straight into Shooting Majestic Star Dragon off of these two. Into Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. Boom. Just like that. Now, again, you might say, well, we need another guy on field. We'll go and activate this one. Again, doesn't do anything now that we have cards on field. But you want to go ahead and use Stardust Worm's effect to bring it back. It will banish itself when it comes to field. Now, we're going to say we don't have Doppel Warrior. This is why I also added the second. In case you your first Junk Speeder gets negated, you have a second one in bake, just in case. The reason I have this one here is for this. Now, I probably should have brought Doppel Warrior back to show you the more combo, but yeah. There's not really much else you can really do. But I will do this to bring this guy back. Now, it would have been smarter to bring this guy back when it was in my hand, because if I didn't, that would have been the end of the line, as you could see. So what you would normally do is just do this. Back into charge. Charge effect, obviously. We don't want to do this because we don't have any tuners on field. Unless you think you can get lucky enough. But we're not. We got Synchro Rumble. So, which actually can let us in our combo mode, but we're not doing that. Why? Because we already have game. Crash. Effect of that. I'll let that happen. Oh, damn, that destroys that. I did not read that card. My bad, team. Yeah, we're gonna have to retry. Going second again. Yeah, if you mess up with this deck at least once, you're kind of over. You kind of have to negate. I do not know what tennies do. I just know they were kind of in meta a little bit, so I kind of just did this. Okay, this is a way better hand. So, because this, I'm going to tell you why this hand is so bad. Grab Junk Synchron. We bricked. Yep, like that. Now, in this situation, what you want to do is you can either do the full speed warrior effect. If you had these would each have 2,700 because of their effect. Monster control that mentioned Junk Warrior and a Synchro monster with Warrior in their original name gain 900 attack during the battle phase only. So if you summon this guy out and you beat 1,800 in total, and when you go into battle. But there's another reason you might want to do this, but you see, is to get the Spell and Trap, which would be the Synchro Fellowship. But since we kind of just went this guy Engrave, we not really want to get a card. We just set him and pass, and hopefully they attack over it. Let them summon this. Factory allow them. Because we just want them to attack over it. We don't want to get too far in their combo, just attack over it. That's all we want. Yes, just go through. Perfect. Now, we have our way. That's not too good. On your mark effect, getting a signal counter. Now, jump synchron. Make sure you target the right one. Now, you can't use this guy's effect again if you want to see if they have Ash and you want to try to force it at them because they might make a mistake and not read the card and say, oh, this is adding. Okay, now, back to this. This is also why we have 2 starter synchrons in case one gets added to our hands. Gonna activate this one because you're gonna need to. Arrive in late, you always need to grab arrive in late here. Always activate it here. And you kind of see where this is going. You kind of want to get back into this area. As soon as you're back here, you continue on. You have room, you get Starter Swarm. You synchro again. And it's a formula because we don't have a regular level 2 here with Majestic. We just get formula. Draw a card. So we're kind of speeding this up. Into Shooting Star again. And this is kind of the whole combo. You mainly want to stick to this combo or get to it. Basically, your whole job is to get onto this combo string. And you can usually just get onto this whole combo string if you just need Junk Speeder. That's all you need. Now, you might say, okay, what do we do out here? We're going to continue on. Bring this one back. Now, this one's going to be weird. All we have is that, but we do. Oh, you can't use it because you don't have any more Stardust Illumination. Shit. Oh no, that's not good. Yeah, I was gonna say use our because this can raise the level, making it level 6, making you can do full combo again. But yeah, here you're kind of stuck. You can go into Junk Speeder again, but there's nothing we really have here that can do anything. Unless I never went down this combo string, so this is completely new for me. What do we do here? What's we gonna? Oh, because we. Okay, then yeah, we can do it like this. So yeah, that's actually perfect. Raise this level by 1. Into Stardust Charge. Pay attention to this Stardust Synchron. Draw tuning. Instantly into this one. And you can see we're going to see the same thing as we did before. Crystal Lane. Now, if you don't have another tuner on this, this is your end board. If we did not have Jet Synchron coming out, and we had just... Basically, if we never got, this guy back out with the effect of another card on field, it would just be these 2 cards then, which is fine because this is going to be attack. This is a Crystal Wing, not defense, and Shooting Mr. Star Dragon still has 2 attacks, which is great. And because of that, I think we're going to do fine again. Negate the effects for free, non-targeting, and just go into battle. And that's all the combo you need. And this is why I say it's a one-turn. It's like a one-time combo. You're gonna use almost every single card in your deck, meaning you're not really gonna have a chance to redo it. Okay, so that's what I mean by there's two routes. Either you go to the Shooting Star Dragon mixed with Majestic Dragon to go into. Why is this here? Oh, because that's right. It's over 1 a.m. But yeah, this is my deck. I know it's probably very efficient as a lot. There's it's probably a way better way to make this more efficient. There's probably not enough hand traps or too little hand traps, or there's too many. Because you might want to get rid of these 2 Jolt to get another 2 more Ghost Spell. It kind of depends on everything. I don't know. I'm not really much the meta, but this is the deck I like playing. Now, Excel is in here in case, you know, you mess up and you only have Excel Synchron. You can, because usually you have a stage 2, which you can do is you can, this one, target junk, get it out. What else? You have, because what you can do is target Assault Synchron, bring this back out with Excel, and then Synchro off into this one. Now you're probably never going to see Stardust Warrior, which is why I'm probably going to get rid of it. Because you need a tuner synchro monster, so you need and the only tuner synchro monster we have here is Formula Synchron. Everything else is just regular that. We keep Formula Synchron so it's a lot easier in case we mess up to go into Shooting Majestic. Now, Stardust Warrior might never use. Now, Satellite Warrior on their hand, because how it works. This effect. Because level 8 or lower means you can, in case if you mess up bad and you only have Satellite Warrior, you can get this guy back out. And level 8 or lower. So it means if you have like this guy in grave, you can get this one back out, this one back out. Or even any of the, basically, from this point down, you can get him back all out with if Satellite Warrior gets destroyed. Now, since the grave destroyed, that's very important. Why are we not using Rush Warrior? Rush Warrior is mostly Synchron and more Warrior based. Like, it's mostly for Junk Warrior. I would say Junk Warrior decks are different from this deck. This deck is very focused. It's not this. Junk Warrior is also late, which you might say, oh, you can replace this with this. But it's not too good because of one reason. You can special summon as many level 2s or lower as possible from your graveyard, but neither player can activate this monster's effect this turn. So it's kind of like Junk Speed, but only for level 2 or lowers. But here's the thing with Junk Warrior: you don't get an attack bonus like you do with regular Junk Warrior. Your monster by battle, you can banish card again. Especially when one Junk Synchro monster from your extra deck. Well, I guess you can do this attack, go into Junk Warrior, regular one, and then punch with a bunch of that because you have it already because you level 2 or lower monsters as possible. The bad thing with this is how you're going to get this level 8 out, because you need, unless you just plan to go from 4, 6 to 8, then you need 3 other monster ways to get out. It's just, in my opinion, it's too much for too little. Like, there's no negates, which means if you don't kill with this, you just kind of lose. Now, there's probably a bigger combo I'm messing up with this, but I just don't like using it. It's like, it's just too much. When, you see, because it's, like I said, just too much. I should stop trying to justify myself. I keep doing that unnaturally, when I just shouldn't, because, again, you can kind of assume why this is not in there. It's just, it's too much. Foolish Burial, I was also thinking about removing, but there's certain cards in here that you can't remove. Again, you should always have 3 Junk Synchron. Okay, but now we're going to in case you can't see this well, we're going to do the full, out loud deck list. Effect Veiler. 2 Duel and Lockbird. 1 Jet Synchron. 1 Converging Wills Dragon. 1 Stardust Worm. W-U-R-M, not W-Y-R-M. Doppel Warrior. Synchron Carrier. Junk Converter. Assault Synchron. Oh wait, I messed up. 3 Doppel Warrior. 3 Synchron Carrier. 3 Junk Converter. 3 Assault Synchron. 3 Full Speed Warrior. 3 Junk Synchron. 3 Ash Blossom. 1 Ghost Spell. 2 Stardust Synchron. 1 Foolish Burial. 1 Reinforcement of the Army. 3 Tuning. 1 Stardust Illumination. 1 Synchro Rumble. 3 Synchro Fellowship. 1 Synchro World, which you can also get rid of or keep. Kind of comes in clutch sometimes with the increase the face up. 1 Arrive in Light. 2 On Your Mark, Get Set Duel. 1 Call by the Grave. 1 Cross Out Designator. 1 Forbidden Droplet. 2 Junk Signal. And 3 Infinite Impermanence. That's for the main deck. Now for the extra deck. 1 Formula Synchron. 2 Junk Speeder. 1 Stardust Assault Warrior. 1 Stardust Charge Warrior. 1 Stardust Dragon. 1 Crystal Wing Dragon. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. 1 Accel Synchro Stardust Dragon. 1 Shooting Star Dragon. 1 Stardust Warrior. 1 Satellite Warrior. 1 Baron de Floor. 2 Shooting Majestic Star Dragons. And then finally 1 Crimson Dragon, and that is the entire deck list. This is everything that my deck has to offer. You can kind of see I'm still kind of messing with this. I might try to remove 2 more cards to get that back to 50. Like I might get rid of Synchro World because it's a one of and you barely draw it, so you're probably never going to see it. Sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't even come in clutch. You just do this to keep comboing, so I'm going to remove this right now. But then again, everything right now you kind of see is kind of what you need. At least a full combo. And kind of consistently. The only thing you might not need is the hand traps. Again, to survive Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! You need hand traps. It is a 2-card starter, so you won't need too many cards. But if you want to continue, you need at least 3 cards. But yeah, this is the entire deck list. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.